right, good afternoon, everybody. It's 4 o'clock. I'll call the City Plan Commission meeting to order. I'll call the roll. Mike? Kevin? Joe? Braden? All right, if folks could please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And Jerry's here. All right, is there a motion from the commission to approve the minutes from our last meeting?
So moved.
Moved in second. All those in favor of approval of the minutes, state aye.
Aye.
Any objections? Chair votes aye. Minutes are approved. All right, we have 2 public hearings. First public hearing for today is item 5, public hearing regarding application for conditional use with exceptions by John Salesman to create new mobile home lots in Summer Woodhaven Mobile Park located at 4441 South 12th Street. Any members from the public wishing to speak? Then state your name, address, and you'll have 3 minutes.
4819 South 12th Street. I did receive a number of calls about this project, and it wasn't the adding of the units. They had nothing, that was fine with them. But since the new ownership has been taken over from Summers, they have a security problem where there's not enough lighting or certain lighting that's not been maintained within that park. And what was indicated to me was they're fine with having the additional units, but they'd like to have this owner as one of the conditions to repair the lighting that's in that park because there's been a number of car break-ins, some reported and some not reported, and they just feel that though Summers might have taken care of the place a little bit better, but now that the new owner is there, he hasn't replaced a number of lights, and there was a dispute whether or not that was the city's property or we don't maintain those lights. Those lights are maintained by that park. So possibly if there's a condition that you could put on this approval that he makes sure that the security, the lighting on that property is sufficient for those people that live there. And the people that I talked to didn't necessarily want to come up here. I always mentioned, come on, come to the, no, they didn't want to do that because I think if they gave their name and address, their rent might go up. I'm not sure, but it was just one of those things.
So yours is going to go up, right?
Yeah, you know, thanks a lot.
Yeah, right. Thanks, Joe. Sure. Anyone else wishing to speak on this item? Anyone else wishing to speak from the public on this item? All right, seeing none, is there a motion from the commission to close the hearing?
So moved.
Moved in second. All those in favor, state aye.
Aye.
Any objections? Chair votes aye. That hearing is closed. Next, item 6, public hearing regarding general development plan and Riverview District LLC to construct apartments located north of Pennsylvania Avenue and east of North 13th Street, bordering the Sheboygan River. Anyone from the public wishing to speak on this item? Anyone wishing to be heard? Final call. Anyone wishing to be heard? Seeing none, is there a motion to close the hearing?
So moved.
Moved and seconded. All those in favor of closing the hearing state aye.
Aye.
Any objections? Chair votes aye. That hearing is closed. Okay. Item. Okay. Thanks. Item 7, application for conditional use with exceptions by John Salesman to create a new mobile home lot in the Summers Woodhaven Mobile Park located at 4441 South 12th Street. Elise, staff report.
Summers Woodhaven is requesting approval to add 5 to 8 additional mobile home lots to the existing mobile home park. The current design sketch shows 5 manufactured homes being added. Based on the layout, the potential in that area is 5 to 8 manufactured homes. If the infrastructure allow for additional homes, the applicant would like to be able to add these homes. The expansion will accommodate additional low-income housing opportunities while maintaining the character and quality of the community.
Thanks, Elise. Questions, comments from commission members? Yeah, Joe?
Are there landscape requirements from the city for along the street?
Not on residential properties.
Cool. Other questions from commission members? Motions from commission members?
Motion to approve as submitted with city recommendations and also a requirement to repair existing lighting.
Is there a second? Moved and seconded. Further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor state aye.
Aye.
Any objections? Chair votes aye. That's approved with the additions. Thank you, Joe. All right. Item 8, General Ordinance Number 22526 by Alders Close, amending the City of Sheboygan official zoning map of the Sheboygan zoning ordinance to change the use district classification of property located north of Pennsylvania Avenue and east of North 13th Street bordering the Sheboygan River from Class Urban Commercial, Urban Industrial, and Railroad to Urban Residential 12 with the PUD overlay classification. Elise, staff report?
This rezone is due to the PUD that we will be discussing next. The proposed development is a high-density luxury market rate residential project located on the former Mayline plant site. The development will consist of 2 distinct buildings with a central courtyard. The total residential units will be 283 with a mix of studio, 1, 2, and 3-bedroom units.
All right. And that covers items 8, 9, and 10 as well, Elise?
Correct.
All right. Is the applicant additional comments you'd like to add? All right. Questions from commission members? Braden?
First, just comments that I appreciate the references to the neighborhood plan in here and the feedback that was taken from the neighbors to have that implemented in the plan. It's much appreciated. Also appreciate that we're flexing away from what our zoning code rigidly asks for parking and kind of taking into context where we are in location and having a lower ratio of parking spaces to units, so I appreciate that. I actually have, my question's more internally, I think probably to you, Kevin, is more of a DPW question. One of the notes in the landscaping pieces was about trees that were used to meet the street frontage landscape requirement, and just noting that they weren't going to plant some of the trees because of potential conflicts growing towards light poles that are blocking light shining down. I'm just wanted to check if there's anything that we can do, if these are going to be new light poles, to have them be shorter, like what we've used on multi-use paths before, or if this is just already existing. Just want to understand what our options are, if we can make that easier.
So along the paths, we'll have, I believe they're 13-foot tall lights. And on the west side of the road, we'll have our standard 30-foot lights. We will also be planting street trees, our own street trees through there as well.
Got it, okay.
Additional questions from the commission? Motions?
Second.
Moved and seconded. Final thoughts? Seeing none, all those in favor state aye.
Aye.
Any objections? Chair votes aye. Number 8 is approved. Item 9, the general development plan by Riverview District LLC to construct apartments located north of Pennsylvania Avenue and east of North 13th Street bordering the Sheboygan River. Lisa, any additional comments you'd like to add?
Nothing additional.
All right. Questions from commissioners? Moved and seconded. Discussion? Seeing no further discussion, all those in favor of approval state aye.
Aye.
Any objections? Chair votes aye. Item number 9 is approved. Item 10, specific implementation plan by River District LLC to construct apartments located north of Pennsylvania Avenue and east of North 13th Street bordering the Sheboygan River. Elise, additional comments?
No additional comments.
All right, questions, motions from commission members?
Second.
Moved and seconded. Final thoughts? Seeing none, all those in favor of approval, state aye.
Aye.
Any objections? Chair votes aye. Item 10 is approved. Easy enough, right? Here we go. All right, item 11, preliminary plat approval for Northern Lights subdivision located on the former Aurora Hospital site between 8th Street and 7th Street on parcel number 59281007701. Elise, staff report?
The proposed subdivision includes 21 single-family lots, each approximately 70 feet wide. The development will be constructed in phases from north to south with approximately 5 to 6 homes built during each phase.
Thank you. Questions from commission members? Alder Close?
All right, so a lot of questions have been raised about the density of the plat from the council and from the public at large. I was hoping to address how we arrived at 21 plats at this, for this plan, and is it possible to move the density up? Has there been any planning or consideration for being able to move the density up beyond 21 units?
Oh, who wants to take that?
Hi, my name is Scott Simon with Peyton Group, and we're going to be the ones doing the construction with Pelton. One of the reasons we designed it this way was purposely to have side-load garages. The aesthetics of what you get and the long-term value of what you're getting, I believe would be more beneficial to the neighborhood than to have the higher density with all garages in front. And we've designed it very efficiently, and I think we can bring a great product to you.
Any follow-ups, Mike?
Yeah. What would, and there's been a lot of demand for raising the density of this area up, what would be needed? What process would need to go through in order to potentially raise the number of units up? You mentioned the side garages. Would it be possible to possibly remove the garages or enter in townhomes or something like that in order to raise the number of units on the plat?
Well, following from a marketing standpoint, we looked at the different options of what it would be narrower versus the wider lots that we're doing. Anything's possible, but removing garages would take away the, truly the benefit of a single-family ownership and what people are looking for. And the way to make it smaller, like I said, with lots, you're increasing maybe what was it, 4 lots or 5 lots total? Incrementally, we did not think that was worth it.
Okay.
Yeah, if you keep having questions, Mike, go for
Yeah,
it.
yeah, absolutely, yeah. So, sorry, and it's just a follow-up question. So you talk about marketability. So you feel as though if we were to make this area more dense, we would not be able to market these homes to future buyers?
You could market them to future buyers, but the way we're doing it, I think you're going to market them at a more aesthetically pleasing way to the neighborhood. It's not going to be shoved in as tight, and it's not going to be as much on top of each other with the only view being a garage. If you've looked at what we've done as renderings, we've purposely kept it so that we're double gabling and we're doing other things onto the side to make it as nice as possible.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Braden?
So it really is simply aesthetically driven. You mentioned like removing the garages, you get 4 to 5 more lots on there. That would be it. Is that based on our requirements for setbacks?
Combination of lot width of what the minimum we could do. And I think part of it is setbacks. We're working on the 5-foot setbacks either way.
And minimum lot width being what is required of you in our zoning code?
For us to be able to build a good single-family product for this, we're looking at least a minimum of 40 feet wide on the house.
Okay.
We change it to 50 plus or minus a foot or 2 for the width, and then when you divide that out, you gain 4, maybe 5 lots.
And oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, and then there's some easement issues on the southern end as well.
And what's the limiting factor on width? Why is 40 feet the width that's needed for this single-family product?
To be able to build the square footage and to make it, even then, you're looking at the garage being 20-some feet wide. If you're going to do less than 40, now the garage is all you'll see. Even at that width, you're still looking at over half garage.
Hypothetically, if the city had an alley, which I know we don't maintain alleys, but in the past we put alleys in 100-plus years ago, whatever it may be. If we had an alley and there was a rear-facing garage, would that alleviate these issues?
It would alleviate some of them, yes. But if you were to do that, a whole different product design and a whole different type of neighborhood would be in order. Based upon what you have right now with the infrastructure and the TIF design, this is what we believe is maximizing your value and maximizing what we're able to return to you as well as the aesthetics.
Okay, so it's us and the way that we've laid out the land, and this is the best product that you can get based on how we have laid it out as a city so far.
Well, you have the existing streets there, and logically, that's the easiest way to go without spending a lot of money running sewer and water down the middle, probably, along with a alleyway and long-term maintenance of the alleyway and a completely different product.
Okay.
Mike?
Nope, he asked the question, yep.
Okay. And then, John, did you have a comment? You want to come up here or?
I'm John Bellinger. I live at 2622 North 3rd Street. I am the 2nd District Alderman that represents this district. I've lived in this neighborhood for 30-plus years, and the density issue is kind of a question that is really irritating to me. It's I think 21 homes is fine. I don't have any issue with it. If you look at the 2500 block of North 3rd Street, there's only 2 houses on that whole block. That whole city block, there's only 2 houses. If you look at the 2500 or the 2600 block, the block that I live on 3rd Street, if 4th Street went all the way through to North Avenue, there would only be 2 houses on that block too. There's big lots. If you look at on the other side of 3rd Street, there are all big lots. There are deep lots in that neighborhood. And to say that this doesn't fit in or isn't, we need more density, I just don't see it. I think it's attractive to have young professionals to be able to have a yard and a place for kids and children to play safely. And I don't know what's wrong with having a yard and having a bigger lot. I mean, I think it's very attractive for anybody, any potential buyer to want to come into that neighborhood. It's an outstanding neighborhood, and you know, to add all this more density thing, I just don't think it fits, and I don't see the need for it with this. And I don't think it serves any purpose. So I think what has been proposed, as far as the number, is fine for the neighborhood. And from what I've seen, it looks very good. So I'm excited for it.
Thanks, Sean. Any additional comments from commission members? Braden?
So along the same lines though, like, yes, everything you just said is true, but I disagree that the density is a problem. I think we actually do need the higher density there. One, if we own the land, right, this is our property as a city. We have to make a decision in the best interest of our entire community. So we need to make sure that we get a good return on our investment here, both in terms of the number of houses that are built and the long-term tax revenue that comes from them. In terms of the average lot sizes, the median lot size in that neighborhood is 6,000 square feet. If you take the whole neighborhood defined as we define it on our GIS maps and the police website for neighborhood associations, median is 7,120 square feet. The median lot size is 6,000 square feet. The most common lot size is 4,800 square feet. And there's about 15 to 20% of the homes in there are duplexes. On this, we're only talking single-family homes. I know we have that in the deed restrictions. So to me, this is an issue of making sure that we get enough housing when we need housing in our community. It's an issue of making sure that we get enough return on our investment for a city-owned property. Like, yes, this meets our zoning requirements, but our zoning requirements don't put a maximum lot size on there, only a minimum. All right, so to make sure that we get the best out of something that we own and have full control over, I don't think 21 homes is enough. And I recognize the challenges, but I think that there's some stuff that we should do on our side to make sure that we are laying this property out accordingly, that we are taking into account if it was a one-time cost for an alley, what would that be and what it would cost to maintain it. Understanding the difference in long-term revenue from having 30, 40, 50 homes there. To me, I understand this. It's legal. It passes our zoning code, but I don't think it's in the best interest of our community.
Thanks, Braden. Additional comments from commission members? I guess, Devin, I got a question for you and your team. So as we kind of plot this out, I mean, I think you've talked with our city administrator too a little bit of, you know, what it would take to kind of lay out the plan for some of those lots. Is there a comfortability level? Like, could you possibly look at adding a few more, or is it sort of, I don't want to say locked in at 21 lots, but is that kind of how it all pencils out on your end? I'm just trying to see if there's some wiggle room, you know, on your end. Like, is it to add a couple more, you know, is still kind of a compromise, if you will, to figure out, you know, what our options are here, or what your options would be as well?
Like Scott said, I think anything's possible. I think it'll set us back. We were trying to get in the ground this fall to get that first phase of construction going.
Okay.
If we have to reassess the number of lots and the layouts that are designed for those lots to accommodate the setback requirements and stuff like that, it'll more than likely be a spring delay to get construction going. So we'll have to revisit the developer's agreement and all the things those are not locked in yet either, but the timing is gonna have to push back clearly. And we'll have to look at assessed values and reconfigure the whole, I guess, game plan that we've come up with so far.
Is there anyone from the neighborhood here wishing to speak?
I'm from the neighborhood. My concern isn't with the size of the lots. I wouldn't mind seeing 25 lots being there. That wouldn't bother me at all.
Okay.
My concern is with the style of homes that are being proposed to be built there. I feel that the developer driven through the neighborhood to see what style homes are there. I feel that if we build 21 homes that are nearly identical with the exception of the facades, I feel that this is not in accordance with the wishes of the Memorial neighborhood that was set forth 3.5 years ago when we said we wanted a development for the neighborhood that would match the style and the variety of the homes that are in the neighborhood. And that's really my concern.
Okay.
Thank you for asking.
Yeah, no, thanks, Bill. And just for the record too, we're just approving the plot layout, not the home design necessarily just yet. Just for the reporters in the room and the audience as well. All right, questions, motions from Plan Commission members? Braden?
I'll preface this with the fact that I have made many a trip in my career to developers to apologize for the products that I'm selling, causing the delays in their timeline that move things back and cause rework. So I sympathize, but to fulfill my duty on this commission, I'll move to file.
Okay, there's been a motion to file. Is there a second? Is there a second? Okay, without a sufficient second, that motion fails. Is there another motion? Is there a second? Second. Moved and seconded. All right, any final thoughts from commission members? Seeing none, all those in favor of approval, state aye. Aye. Any objections? Nay. All right, chair votes aye, that is approved with 2 nays noted for the record. All right, item 11 is complete. Item 12, exterior renovation for Volrath employees entrance located at 1236 North 18th Street. Elise, staff report.
The project includes a complete renovation of an existing shop and storage area to a new employee entry, employee lounge, and locker room area. The existing building consists of an aged metal frame structure, and the proposed remodel will include architectural metal siding, aluminum doors and windows, and decorative metal roof.
Thank you. Is the applicant here? Anything else to add? Okay. Questions, motions from commission members? Moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor state aye. Aye. Any objections? Chair votes aye, that's approved. Item 13, direct referral general ordinance number 42526 by Alder Close, granting Quashis Construction, its successors and assigns the privilege of encroaching upon described portions of Niagara Avenue and North 8th Street right away in the city of Sheboygan for the purposes of expanding the Wiles Center for the Performing Arts Building. Elise, staff report?
Deferring this one over to Kevin.
Kevin?
So Quashis has partnered with the Wiles Center as part of their development and expansion, excuse me, at the corner of 8th and Niagara. They've met with city staff and reviewed our concerns. Their construction operations create issues with pedestrian access in that area. And we think this plan creates the necessary safety to continue the construction on that site.
Okay. Questions from, is the applicant in the room? Yeah, anything else to add? Nope. Questions, motions from commissioners?
Move to approve.
Moved and seconded. All those in favor, state aye. Aye. Any objections? One abstention. Chair votes aye. That is approved. All right. Next meeting, June 10th. We've exhausted the agenda. What is the pleasure of the commission? Moved and seconded. All those in favor? Aye. All right. We're adjourned at 4:24. Thanks, everybody.